And we know that you don't have to have been physically wounded in battle to have a lifetime of wounds and scars. We have homeless female veterans with children in unprecedented numbers in our streets and under our bridges. And so we need organizations like you to become even more understanding of how critical and necessary you are. And so I implore you today to seek service beyond self. Now I realize that for the most part I'm preaching to the choir, and that many of you would not be here this evening if it were not for your selfless service and commitment to our veterans and communities. But sadly, unfortunately, this is not the case for others. Others who have the ability and the resources to serve our communities and veterans, but decline to do so. One of my favorite scriptures in the Bible is found in Philippians 2 and 3. It reads, "Let nothing be done through selfish ambition or conceit, but in lowliness of mind let each esteem others better than himself." Now I'm not naive, and I submit to you today that to the contrary, we are in a self-indulgent society. That's what we live in today. Today, it's all about me. It's all about self, self-service, self-contained, self-preservation, self-confrontation. We don't even need anyone to argue with anymore. We just argue with ourselves. But of course, we're not going to argue with ourselves until we finish with taking our selfie. And so, whether you believe in the Bible or God or not, we must condition, in my opinion, ourselves as stated in the paradoxical commandments to do good just for the sake of doing good. Therefore, I appeal to you today to recognize the significant role that you can play in the lives of others, both veteran and civilian. Whether you're coaching a little league team or mentoring a troubled and fatherless boy, whether you're helping a disabled veteran get aid and assistance and benefits that he or she so desperately needs and quite frankly deserves. You can help a child or a fallen veteran go to college. You can buy an amputee a crutch or a wheelchair. You can visit a veteran's housing facility or help a homeless veteran get off the streets. And maybe you can just locate those homeless veterans in your city and just take them a hot meal or a fresh set of clothes. You can volunteer at one of our VA hospitals or clinics. You can host job and health fairs and special events for veterans in your community. Maybe you can mentor and coach a recovering veteran going through a court-sponsored alcohol or drug rehabilitation program. You are necessary, and make no mistake about it. You are needed. You can be ambassadors of change in your communities. And so you ask, how can I help? I'm glad you asked. And so in other ways, what you can do is you can reach out to local businesses and encourage them to hire veterans. You can team up with other VSOs or veteran service organizations and civic groups to pool and strengthen your resources and your access. You can donate barely used excess items to your local AMVETs and American Legions and VFWs. You can lobby your legislators, both state and congressional, to do more for our veterans in regards to health care and jobs and education and housing. Now I realize that as a nonprofit, your involvement in the political process is both limited and restricted. However, there are allowable ways that you can help give a voice to our veteran community and encourage the improvements in veteran benefits and affairs, so that those brothers and sisters who are now serving on active duty that will come behind us will find the path better than we found it. That's our obligation. And so you can go back to your churches and start a veteran ministry. We have every other kind of ministry. We have a singles ministry. We have, some of y'all know too. We have a motorcycle ministry. We even have a tattoo ministry these days. So surely we can have a veteran ministry. And so as I prepare to take my seat, I leave you each with these final thoughts. When it comes to the critical support and assistance needed by you and me, by our veterans, especially those who have fallen on hard times, whether through addictions or convictions, financial or mental, emotional challenges or otherwise, when they see you and me coming to their aid and to their rescue, contrary to what you might believe, they don't see whether you are enlisted or an officer, a private or a general, black or white, active or reserve, male or female. Here's a newsflash. They don't care. And at the risk of bruising some egos, what they really care about when they see you and me coming to their aid is they see hope. They see a second chance. They see an opportunity to stand shoulder to shoulder with their battle buddy to take the hill one more time. They see someone who understands their plight and the many sacrifices that they and their families have made. They see their comrades in arms who once again refuse to leave them on the battlefield. And it is through your individual and collective actions as an organization that will give our veterans a new hope and afford him or her to feel the pride of having served in our armed forces and give them an opportunity to imagine being in uniform that they so proudly wore during their time in service. This, ladies and gentlemen, is what service beyond self looks like. And so finally, thank you. Thank you for your selfless and tireless service. Thank you for your commitment to our veterans and to our communities around the United States. May God bless you and your family. May God bless our veterans and our armed forces. And may God bless the United States of America. Thank you.